Getting a U.S. visa is not easy in 2025. The process is tough for everyone, but for people from some Asian countries, it is nearly impossible to get approval. In this video, we talk about the 7 Asian countries will never get U.S. visas again in 2025 and explain the real reasons behind this. And now, let's dive in. Number 7. Indonesia. In 2025, Indonesia finds itself in a troubling position as the U.S. considers tightening visa rules for its citizens. Why? 2 main reasons: visa overstays and growing ties with China. Overstaying is not a small issue. Thousands of Indonesians have stayed in the U.S. illegally after their visas expired, making it harder for others to gain entry. The U.S. sees these actions as a threat to immigration control. This could lead to a full ban. The U.S. has sanctioned countries before for similar behavior. Overstaying isn't the only concern. Political alignment with China is making Washington uncomfortable. Indonesia has deepened its trade and defense ties with Beijing. This matters to the U.S. because it fears rising Chinese influence in Southeast Asia. That shift could impact visas. The U.S. may limit entry to those from countries perceived as aligned with rivals. Migrant workers may see fewer chances for U.S. sponsorship. Students aiming for American universities could also face delays, while business visas may shrink as trust declines. Tourism could suffer too, with Indonesians struggling to get approval for even short visits. Solutions exist, but Indonesia must enforce immigration rules better and balance foreign alliances. Without real change, 2025 could become the year when America says no to Indonesian travelers. Oh, before we go to the next country, comment down below where you are watching. We love to know where you are from. And now, let's go to the next country. Number 6. China. China's strained relationship with the United States is nothing new, but in 2025, it's reached a boiling point, and the consequences may soon include a total visa ban. Why is China at risk? The first reason is espionage concerns. The U.S. has long accused China of cyber spying and intellectual property theft. This affects visa holders, as Chinese nationals, even students and workers, are now viewed with suspicion. It could stop them from entering the U.S. The U.S. might block access to reduce potential security risks. Ongoing tensions in the South China Sea and China's support for Russia's global stance add to the problem. These actions make the U.S. question whether Chinese citizens should be allowed free entry. Visa approvals are heavily influenced by political relations. In 2024, visa restrictions were already expanded, and in 2025, some categories are nearly frozen. A full ban is very likely. Ordinary people will face fewer jobs, fewer study opportunities, and families separated for longer. Chinese companies wanting to send employees to America may also find doors closing. Exchange programs, research partnerships, and tourism could all face collapse if restrictions harden. Without meaningful diplomatic change, China might officially join the list of countries with no U.S. visa access, ending decades of cultural and academic exchange. Number 5. Myanmar. Myanmar's political instability has caught international attention for years, but in 2025, it's creating direct consequences for U.S. visa policies. Why is Myanmar on the verge of a U.S. visa ban? First, ongoing human rights abuses. Since the military coup, thousands of civilians have faced violence and displacement. This affects U.S. policy, as the U.S. often denies visas to countries with serious human rights violations. Another problem is lack of cooperation with U.S. deportation orders. When the U.S. deports undocumented Myanmar nationals, Myanmar often refuses to accept them back. This could lead to visa cancellation. Countries that don't cooperate with deportations are commonly targeted for bans. In 2025, the U.S. is re-evaluating its stance on immigration from troubled regions. Myanmar could lose access completely, with security risks, humanitarian concerns, and poor diplomatic engagement. The U.S. may stop issuing visas altogether. Students, workers, and families hoping to travel to the U.S. may lose all opportunity. Only democratic reform and international cooperation can bring change. If Myanmar continues down its current path, even limited cultural or educational exchanges may vanish. For ordinary people, that means losing not only opportunities abroad, but also connections with family members already living in the U.S. Until reforms happen, America might just close the doors on Myanmar's future. Wait! If you found this video interesting, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and tap the notification bell so you never miss an update. And now, let's go to the next country. Number 4. Bangladesh. Bangladesh is facing possible exclusion from U.S. visa eligibility in 2025, and it's not without reason. Why? First, rampant visa fraud. Thousands of applicants have submitted fake documents or false employment claims. This undermines U.S. immigration laws and overwhelms the system. In recent years, the U.S. increased background checks for Bangladeshi nationals. It could escalate into a full ban. Fraud and dishonesty in applications are top reasons for suspending visa privileges. Another issue is Bangladesh's low deportation compliance. When undocumented immigrants are caught in the U.S., the Bangladeshi government is slow or refuses to take them back. The U.S. sees it as a breakdown in bilateral cooperation. For everyday people, students, job seekers, and families face a future where travel to America might be impossible. Immigration is a hot topic in 2025, an election year in the U.S., and politicians push for stricter policies. As politicians campaign, they highlight countries with repeated immigration problems, and Bangladesh is one of them. For students, this could mean canceled admissions or blocked visas even after securing scholarships. For workers, it may mean losing the ability to seek opportunities abroad, especially in industries like healthcare or technology. Families waiting for reunification will be left uncertain, with paperwork frozen for months or years. Tourism is also at risk, with Bangladeshi citizens struggling to get even short-term travel permission. Bangladesh could avoid the ban if it strengthens internal monitoring, enforces stricter application screening, and shows genuine effort to cooperate with deportation agreements. Without fast and visible changes, the U.S. may soon say goodbye to welcoming Bangladeshis, at least for the near future. Number 3. Afghanistan. Afghanistan's place on the list of countries possibly facing a total U.S. visa ban in 2025 is no surprise. Why? The return of Taliban rule has reversed years of democratic progress. This means increased scrutiny, rejections, and delays for visa applicants. The U.S. fears that Afghan citizens could bring extremist ideologies or create security risks. In the past, visa policies tightened whenever extremist groups gained power in any region. Passport fraud and identity issues raise more red flags. With no central government records being reliable, verifying an Afghan applicant's identity is extremely difficult. This makes visas nearly impossible. Families are already separated, and a ban would make reunification nearly impossible. Students and professionals face canceled interviews and closed application windows. For many Afghans, the dream of studying abroad or working in America is fading quickly. Employers who once recruited Afghan workers may hesitate due to uncertain approval rates. Refugees seeking safer lives in the U.S. are also trapped in limbo, facing closed doors. Diplomatically, Afghanistan's lack of recognized governance further complicates matters. Consular offices struggle to process paperwork when official documents cannot be trusted. Terrorism concerns add even more weight, as U.S. security agencies warn of potential risks linked to extremist groups. Afghanistan can improve only with regime change or strong international supervision. As of 2025, that seems unlikely. The result is an almost certain visa blackout. For ordinary Afghan citizens, the door to America may already be closed and locked, leaving families, students, and workers with few options for the future. Number 2. Iran. Iran's relationship with the United States has been hostile for decades, but in 2025, that hostility could lead to one of the harshest immigration outcomes possible: a full visa ban. Why is Iran facing this risk? The biggest reason is ongoing tension over nuclear development. The U.S. fears that Iranian nationals could be linked to government-backed espionage or terrorism. This fuels suspicions and increases visa denials. For years, sanctions have already limited trade, travel, and finance. In 2025, Washington is considering extending restrictions directly to immigration. That means ordinary Iranians could lose the chance to enter the U.S. altogether. Another major issue is Iran's support for militant groups in the Middle East. This makes the U.S. question whether Iranian travelers can be safely allowed across its borders. Security agencies warn that even students or business people could be pressured to carry out intelligence work. Because of this, the U.S. State Department has already flagged Iran as high risk for visas. Family reunification visas are being delayed, business visas are near impossible, and student visas face intense background checks. For Iranian students, this could mean canceled opportunities in top American universities. Scholars, engineers, and doctors may lose access to research opportunities, weakening not just personal futures, but also Iran's academic connections abroad. For families, separation will grow longer, with loved ones waiting years, sometimes decades, for approvals that may never arrive. Tourism is already practically non-existent, but with a full ban, it would disappear entirely. Diplomatically, the U.S. sees little incentive to soften its stance. Iran's government shows no signs of compromise on nuclear negotiations or regional alliances. This leaves ordinary citizens paying the price. For many Iranians, the dream of entering the U.S. is shrinking into impossibility. The only way forward would be major policy reforms or a breakthrough in diplomacy, both of which remain highly unlikely in 2025. Unless change happens, Iran may soon join the list of countries permanently cut off from U.S. visas, leaving its citizens with fewer international opportunities and an even more isolated future. Number 1. Pakistan. Pakistan's relationship with the United States has always been complicated, sometimes allies, sometimes rivals. But in 2025, the country faces a new crisis: the possibility of a full U.S. visa ban. Why could this happen? The first reason is terrorism concerns. The U.S. fears that extremist groups based in Pakistan could exploit visas to send dangerous individuals into America. This makes Pakistani nationals subject to heightened scrutiny, delays, and frequent denials. In recent years, high-profile cases of links between U.S.-based individuals and extremist networks abroad have made Pakistan a prime target for policy tightening. Another issue is immigration violations. Many Pakistanis overstay visas, work illegally, or submit fraudulent applications. The U.S. has warned countries before that failing to address these issues could lead to suspension of visa privileges. Pakistan is now on that warning list. Deportation compliance is another factor. When the U.S. attempts to deport undocumented Pakistani nationals, the process is often delayed due to lack of cooperation from Pakistani authorities. This raises tensions and puts Pakistan at risk of sanctions. For students, this risk is devastating. Pakistan sends thousands of students to the U.S. each year, particularly in technology, engineering, and medical fields. Visas are suspended, scholarships will be wasted, admissions canceled, and future career opportunities destroyed. For workers, particularly those in IT and healthcare, the U.S. job market may close its doors completely. Families waiting to reunite through immigration visas will also face heartbreak as processing freezes indefinitely. Diplomatically, the U.S. is frustrated by Pakistan's shifting alliances. Closer ties with China and inconsistent cooperation in counterterrorism raise questions about Pakistan's reliability as a partner. These factors add weight to Washington's push for tighter restrictions. Tourism and cultural exchange will also collapse if visas stop, further isolating Pakistani citizens from global experiences. The consequences of a ban would be massive, not just for individuals, but for Pakistan's economy and reputation worldwide. Unless Pakistan strengthens immigration monitoring, improves cooperation on deportations, and takes visible action against extremist groups, the U.S. is unlikely to ease its stance. By 2025, Pakistan may find itself facing the harshest outcome yet: closed doors, limited opportunities, and a deepening divide between its people and the American dream. Thanks for watching. Before you go, make sure to like, subscribe, and smash the notification bell. Which of these countries do you think will completely break ties with the U.S.? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll be reading and replying to as many as possible.